work, or we just
Yeah.
Okay, it did work.
There you go.
The countdown to apocalypse.
It has started.
It has begun.
New comments will appear here in real time for everyone to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brothers of Discussion podcast back at it again for another Getting to Bro You with our good brother Brian Hubbart. What's going on, Brian? How are we doing today?
Not doing too bad. Pretty decent day over here in Michigan.
Gotta love it out there. We're big fans of the Michigan area. We're friends with Mike D from Wrestling from the 313.
That's Mike D. It's wonderful.
Wonderful guy. So today, Brian is a wrestling podcaster, a wrestling personality. He's done several things along with the Stage Combat Network as well. He's done a lot of things to bring wrestling to the masses. So we would like to go ahead and get started and let you plug anything that you've got going on and any of your social media outlets so people can find you.
Oh yeah, like you said, I do have quite an involvement in the wrestling scene, especially within Michigan. I don't get to Indiana as much as I used to, but I'll try to get back there again. And yeah, I started Stage Combat Network. That was probably like 4 years ago because I was frustrated because I was watching all these wrestlers and I'm like searching them on YouTube. I'm like, they have zero presence whatsoever. I'm like, why don't I provide YouTube with their matches and see how that goes? And then from there, I'm like, okay, I want to know more about these talents that I'm seeing monthly or so. And it's like, nothing again. I'm like, okay, well, maybe next logical step is to start interviewing them. And I originally planned it on me interviewing talent. And then I was watching my wife at the time sit there and talk to wrestlers. I'm like, you know what? She's still pretty ignorant. That's not a bad thing. Pretty ignorant to the business. But she has people skills. If I put her as host, there could be other females who are just getting to learn wrestling who take this journey of learning more and more with her. So I'm like, that's the direction I need to go. And so we started the crew, and that went probably 3 years.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and that's very different.
And she definitely had a few. I've seen a few episodes. One especially with a person who you are partnered with, and planning on doing some things in the future with Michael Elgin. I saw that interview that your wife, she did with Michael Elgin, and that actually was a really insightful and interesting interview.
Yeah, I mean, so well, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to just say that we appreciate you facilitating all that, bringing this kind of stuff to the light, and indie talent. The indie talent definitely needs more representation out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, back the story of the Michael Elgin interview, originally Robert Brown from Chaos Wrestling, he's like, hey, I booked Michael Elgin. Would you guys want to interview him? I'm like, because he texts Prudence, I'm like, sit on it for a moment. Let me look and see where these allegations have come since they first started. And I'm looking, nothing stuck. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Because, I mean, allegations ain't shit. It's not a conviction, and nothing was sticking. So, anyways, that show was canceled. He was then booked for Lethal Lucha. I'm like, let me get a hold of him and see if he's still good to have an interview. He's like, yeah, sure. Well, that promoter caved and canceled him. I'm like, you motherfucker. So I'm like, then I'm like watching his feed. I'm like, oh, he's going to be at CIW. Never been to this company. So that makes it double interesting. Got a hold of Elgin again. I'm like, hey, third time a charm. He's like, oh, yeah, sure. You guys come on down. You don't have to pay. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're there. And we got there. He's in the ring watching these two people go over their match. And then after they were done, he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I made you guys wait. I'm like, no, dude, we got plenty of killer B-roll footage here. You don't have to be sorry. I mean, we're honored that you invited us here. And, you're going to give us time later on. And yeah, like I said, I mean, even up to that day, I was still looking for something that stuck, nothing. I'm like, we're going through with it. And I believe that was like his first interview since it all started.
Wow, that's crazy that you got to
Yeah.
land that interview. That's nuts. So you say you're in Michigan right now. Is that where you're from? And if so, what were you watching growing up and what kind of got you hooked into wrestling?
Well, I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's West Michigan, second largest market in Michigan. Growing up, I had access to NWA, WWF, and then I believe it was World Class Championship Wrestling. So we had plenty of wrestling growing up. And I mean, first thing was NWA. It really stuck to me. Like my uncle, he's like 10 years older than me. He was babysitting me one night. It was a Saturday night. I'm like walking from my toy room to the bathroom and I see NWA on TV and I just stop. I'm standing in front of the TV like, what the hell is this? I'm like, stand there probably a couple of minutes. He's like, would you move your ass? I'm like, oh, okay. Because I'm like directly in front of the TV. I don't recall. It was like Saturday night NWA, so I don't recall what the match is, but that's where my fascination with wrestling started.
So okay. I was going to say, with NWA being the start of your fascination of wrestling, was there a guy that stood out to you when you were younger that was like the guy that really drew you in?
Yeah, Barry Windham. I mean, the guy wasn't very charismatic, but the way he moved in the ring was magic.
He was a natural athlete, dude. I feel like he just rolled out of bed and it was just awesome. Like he was just really smooth.
He's also one of those guys that people, in hindsight, appreciate more than I think at the time that he was doing it. Really,
yeah, for sure.
Because you said he wasn't very charismatic, but you even as a young man saw that he was something. He was a big deal.
On a side note, I met Barry Windham a few years ago and shook his hand. And his hand it was like the size of my fucking head. It was so big. It wrapped all the way around my hands. Like, he's just such a, and I even said, like, you're a big dude. He's like, yeah, thanks, brother. Like, with his real Southern accent.
And if you can't tell by the camera, Aaron has a really big head, Brian.
Yeah, it's fucking big. It is. Look I'm the shortest guy here with the biggest head. Come on.
But no, I actually got to see Barry Windham wrestle live at our old stadium arena because the NWA came here once and there was like Barry Windham versus I think it was Black Bart, and I'm like, wow. I was just in awe. I'm like running up to the like barricade there, those metal barricades. I'm like watching him walk by. I'm like, that motherfucker is big.
Yeah, he's a big dude, way bigger than he looks on TV, which is crazy because he looks big.
Well, yeah, but he was tall and lanky, pretty much. So you really don't understand how large he was when he's in there against another 300-pounder.
Yeah. So prior to you having your show that you kind of went on before, what kind of wrestling were you doing before that? Did you have another podcast or were you doing something else like in the business, or is that this kind of your first venture in?
Well, no, I mean, for late 90s, I actually wrestled within Grand Rapids. And then I didn't have the mentality to deal with promoters and their bullshit. It's like, well, the gate was small tonight. I'm like, it was a fucking sellout. Well, how is it not what you were expecting? Give me something. I drove here. And then, I mean, there was probably a good, I want to say maybe 10 years I didn't want anything to do with independent wrestling because it was stuck in my mind how it was then where, you know, you show up to a show and there's people out in the parking lot smoking. Then they're wrestling and getting blown up within like a minute. It's like, it was just so pathetic, really. And then maybe 5 years ago, there's this company that runs in West Michigan called Independent Wrestling, IPW. And wife at the time's like, you want to go to this? I'm like, no. I'm like, it's going to be shit. I mean, I guarantee you're going to see the worst fucking possible representation of independent wrestling you possibly could see. Anyway, she bought tickets. She's like, you want to go? I'm like, okay, I'll make one stipulation. We pull in the parking lot. and there's two people out there in Zumba smoking cigarettes. We're turning around. We pull in the parking lot. I'll be damned. There's one guy out there smoking a cigarette. I'm like, oh, I did say two, didn't I? She's like, yep, you're committed. So yeah, I mean, and then we went to the show, obviously, and I was like, wow, things have really fucking changed. And that's where my love for independent wrestling started again.
See, it's a funny thing with independent wrestling, especially you're in your local scenes. So recently I took my children to a wrestling show that I've never even heard of the promotion until a gentleman I work with wrestles for them. And he was like, "Oh, it's medieval times based." So basically it's a medieval themed.
So indie. It's so indie.
And I got there and I'm like, "This is gonna fucking suck. This is so weird." And I'm gonna tell you what, Brian, it was a fucking great show. They put on a hell of a show.
Medieval and wrestling, I'm immediately like, I need to see this.
It's called royalty wrestling.
What a crazy mix.
And honestly, I was thoroughly impressed with 90% of the people on the roster. And then the guy that I worked with had done a really good job too. And my kids enjoyed it. So it made it a very good night. And I went in there with the lowest expectations. I was like, this is going to be fucking awful, but I'm going to support a coworker, and it's wrestling. And it turned out to be something really good.
I got to admit, there's been a lot of shows I went into. It's like, this is going to be dog shit. And walked out, I'm like, that was fucking wonderful. And I think it's just because my expectations were set so low that I enjoyed it more.
That's what it is. So do you watch a lot of like mainstream, like WWE or, AEW nowadays?
I was watching AEW quite regularly, but then, it's summertime and it's hard to stay inside and then remember, oh yeah, I got HBO Max. I can watch it anytime.
Yeah, true.
But I still kind of follow them on like when I remember them. But my main interest is independence.
Okay.
That's refreshing to hear, actually, because most people, not most people, but a lot of people that you speak to, they only really know the AEWs, the WWEs. And it's nice to see people familiar with their local talent, because one day a lot of those guys and ladies that you see wrestling, they could be the next big star in those other promotions. And
definitely.
I've seen it.
Go ahead.
No, you go right ahead. I'm
I was
sorry.
going to say, definitely that's plus. And if one of these people I know make it to something bigger, I will definitely be more interested in watching. I mean, I know Jack Price, who was on in TNA or Impact for a minute. Jason Hodge, who's still in Impact, but he's kind of like a background character for Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just interviewed a young lady out of Houston named Mia Friday. And I'm telling you right now, I watched a bunch of her matches before we interviewed her. And that's a name that I fully expect to see become something here in the future. She's about 20 years old.
Yeah, very young.
Super talented, super charismatic.
She got the future ahead of her.
And she's already been wrestling for about 7 years. She wrestled her first professional match at 14.
Nice.
So yeah, this young lady I think is gonna be something special, and keep a ear out for that name.
So when you're hanging out at home, dude, is there anything that you put on to watch? Like, do you have like a go-to match or an old school thing that you put on that when you just want to kind of get in your feels, you put it on?
Well, I got the DVD box set of WrestleManias, like 1 through I think 10, and a lot of times I end up watching WrestleMania 3 because that's where I really, really started getting into wrestling, and that was like the first big event. I mean, it was at Pontiac, Michigan, so there's that connection too. And
obviously,
I mean, I love the Steamboat versus Savage match. That was absolute perfection.
How far is Pontiac from where you are?
Probably a good 3 hours.
Okay.
That's still it's not that bad.
I mean, we drove New York City.
We're
outside of Philly. We're like 40 minutes outside of Philly, and we drove New York City, which is to
Yeah,
two
it
and a
was
half
like- it was
hours.
about
Give
2
or take
hours.
2
We
hours,
just went to
yeah.
AEW Double or Nothing, the
Give or
3 of
take.
us and Aaron's brother, which
Oh,
was
cool.
a really good show. It was good time.
But here's the deal. You go back to the indie thing. You're talking indie wrestling. As cool as
Mhm.
that show was, some of the best fucking matches I saw were at indie shows.
Yes.
Like as great as that event
True.
was and as spectacular as
That
the
is
show
true.
was, the best matches that I've seen are indie shows. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I saw Silas Young wrestle Isaiah Moore in Coloma, Michigan. That's one of my favorite matches, period. Because Isaiah Moore, he is a fucking incredible talent. You should look him up. I mean, I've never seen a guy have a bad match. And then he's in there against what? Former Ring of Honor television champion.
Yep.
And it was just that whole, I was like, I'm so excited to see this for a good month out. I'm like, and just watching it in complete awe.
So you have a new venture coming up here. I don't know how far you are into the works of it, but it is called The Push. You want to tell us a little bit about The Push?
Well, the push is pretty much what I originally envisioned what would become the push would prove. It's just now I'm starting over again, and I have one interview up. I mean, I was like sitting there, I'm like, oh, Sean Tyler's going to be in Grand Rapids area. I'm like, got a hold of him. I'm like, hey, interested in sitting down? He's like, hell yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Just making sure because, yeah, I mean, he's a pretty good friend of mine, and then later on this month I'll be interviewing one of his students, TJK, phenomenal small dude. I mean, he can brawl and high fly. I like him a lot. So yeah, I'm going to be interviewing him, and then later on that evening, or maybe before, I don't know exactly yet. I got a faction I'll be interviewing at the same time when these are posted. I haven't quite figured out. So I'm kind of slowly getting back into it all.
If you haven't seen, we are very supportive of other wrestling podcasts and other people because we all honestly feel there's enough food for everybody to eat out here.
Sure, table's big enough.
Plus we like to build the connections with guys. So, you know, if we're ever out in Michigan, we got at least two, 3 guys that we can, you know, contact and maybe link up with and do something together. So any of your stuff that comes out, please share it on our page and our group, and we will definitely promote it as much as we possibly can.
I mean, that's how it should be. I mean, this jealousy of one another doesn't help anyone. When everyone works together, you all succeed.
Especially in
That's
this
why-
business. It's like it's a weird business. It's the only thing like it where it's just wrestling's its own category. No matter what anybody says, it's different than anything else. It's a brotherhood that's like, it's not like a sports team. It's just it's different.
I
It's
think
different.
I think what he's saying is, I say it all the time, is wrestling fans, we're just happy to be a part of something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
there's
for
no,
sure.
we all have our favorites, but just because he likes Shawn Michaels, he likes Bret Hart, I like Mr. Perfect, and they're all rivals, we don't hate each other. We enjoy watching the matches.
Yeah.
So I think with
Good
wrestling, I think the wrestling fans that are hip to it being organized chaos can appreciate that, and you can go and just have fun with thousands of strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Everybody
sure.
else is always having a
Met a
good
lot of good
time.
people at wrestling shows. They were just other fans.
Same here. I mean, a lot of our following, we've met at independent shows and just random shows that, and they're all supportive. It's a great thing.
So
Yeah,
dude,
same for me.
I'm big on the history of wrestling. I'm super jealous that you grew up and were able to watch
The golden era.
Yeah, not only that, like, see, we grew up in the 80s, but we grew up in Pennsylvania. We just got WWF. That's all you got. You weren't given WCW until it went to TBS. So we didn't get WCW until it hit TBS. We never got NWA. We never got
AWA.
We never got anything.
NWA was on TBS before it became WCW.
Yeah, but we didn't have, like, if you didn't have
TBS
cable,
wasn't a thing.
yeah. So
really
the reach wasn't as big. My point, my question to you: you were able to see all of them. What
Mhm.
presentation stuck with you the most? Which one was the most impactful to you?
As a child, it was WWF because it was geared towards children. Everything was flashier, everything was bigger. NWA, that was like Southern wrestling where things weren't as flashy and the matches, they were more athletic. Same with like WCCW and AWA. It was just a presentation as a child. WWF spoke the most to me. Everyone was a
crazy-
character.
Yeah, what's crazy is everybody I've asked, because I've interviewed people from Tennessee, Michigan, I mean, all over the place. And everybody has the same answer. The better wrestling, they'd prefer to watch AWA, NWA, but WWF stuck with them. Like, that's what Vince did. His presentation was just so impactful.
And to this day,
yeah,
like, to be
Yeah,
honest,
for
the
sure.
WWE at this point has lost its mojo, so to say, with the wrestlers, but the presentation will never fade. So I agree.
Well, you look at modern day, there's not a difference between a big guy and a bigger guy. It's just back then it was like you had Andre the Giant or Big John Studd in the ring. They stuck out. Hulk Hogan a little bit smaller, but he stuck out from like Ric Flair, who's like 5'11", and the rest of the NWA cast.
yeah.
So I like that this came up because I always wanted to ask somebody, and I haven't done it yet in one of our interviews. What is your stance on the celebrity presence in professional wrestling?
If it's done right, I mean, look at WrestleMania 1. They had celebrities, but there wasn't a whole lot of celebrity build-up to that event. The celebrities weren't getting in the ring. They weren't becoming part of the show or matches. They were just matches prior to the event. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous myself. You got to focus on your product. Not all these outside influences are going to be gone the next week.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's fair.
and that's a good point, because if you look at WrestleMania 1, I believe, I think Muhammad Ali was the outside referee
Yes.
for the main event.
Yes.
So something like that can work at WrestleMania.
Yes.
But when you do it all the time,
All
and
the
it
time,
it
yes.
becomes it kind of
Yeah,
becomes
loses
that.
this wow factor.
Yeah, 100%.
And I mean, there are outliers. I mean, the Logan Pauls, who's a full-time wrestler now.
Yeah, I was actually surprised Logan Paul was so fucking good. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
okay, that works.
You say, Logan Paul and Bad Bunny was surprisingly really
Bad
good
Bunny
too.
was
Well, that was only a one-off though. So, I mean, if you told me,
Done right.
hey, you want to show up to WrestleMania for one match, I guarantee I'm going to show up like him or Stephen Amell.
Then he did have that street fight with Priest
Priest,
in Puerto Rico, which to this day,
sorry,
to be
that's
honest
too off.
with you,
Sorry.
his entrance at that event
Mhm.
might have been the best, one of the craziest wrestling entrances I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Goosebumps every time I see it. But no, it's nice because that question has always popped into my head, and this is the first time I actually thought about saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, and Stephen Amell are three examples that worked in modern times.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know who actually is pretty good because he puts you can tell he puts the effort in, is this Paul Walter Hauser guy.
Sure,
he's trying.
He wrestled
very hard,
so
and he does independent shows, and I think that he's very interesting. If you haven't seen any of his stuff, he played on the show Cobra Kai.
He's in a new movie
I know who you're talking about. It was Stingray.
Yes,
Yeah,
and he actually
I've
has
actually
really
seen
good
clips,
matches.
and it's been pretty impressive.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's pretty good.
He does death matches in the whole nine. That's love of the game.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's love of the game right there. And on a side note, I'm not a Logan Paul fan, but look at him. He looks like a fucking wrestler.
Oh, he looks fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you were hiring wrestlers, you'd look at him and be like, all right, you're ready to go now.
No, when I
You
see
can go immediately.
Yeah,
Like,
that guy never got picked last in gym class.
like I said,
Never.
when I seen him live, like right there where he came out, I'm like, I never knew he was like this fucking big.
Sure.
Yeah, but
hey man, when we started, you said you were an open book. You said you wrestled.
I did.
All right, let's talk about that, man. When did you get into training? How long did the training go? Let's talk a little bit about that. This is fun.
I want to say it was like around 97. It was right before like Jimmy Jacobs came up, started training. So yeah, that's another one I know. But yeah, I trained maybe 6 months, if that. And used to have it was CWM, I believe. They'd have their regular shows at like 6th Street Hall, which was a big venue compared to the what was it like? It was basically like a parking garage where they were having dark matches that people could get experience in front of crowds. There were smaller crowds and just learn how to work. And the training itself was, I don't know, I've seen the guy maybe a couple of times that it was like paid the first month, paid the second month. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep showing up and see what if he asked anything about it. Never did. So I'm like, okay, sweet, I can still train and get on these cards. And then the biggest event we did was at the Granville Armory. That was probably like 1,500 people. It was me, two other guys against Dredd. He was in ECW for a while. Guy was like 6'10 and 450. It's like he's like, okay, here's what's gonna happen. This was before the match. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I'm like, I get out there. I'm like, I just completely froze. I'm like, what was I supposed to do? He fucking chops me, and this guy's hand was like a softball glove. I'm like, oh, I like dropped down to the ground. He's like, chokeslam. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. And he lifted me up. I'm like, and then I got scared. I'm like, oh shit, I'm way the fuck up here. And then when I went down on like my left side, hit my head off the mat, and I was completely out. Someone like pushing me out, and I'm on or near the outside. I think my legs were like dangling outside the ring, and security like trying to pull me, and I just like come around. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? You know, like start kicking at the security and stuff because I had no clue where I was, what was going on. I'm like, oh, wait, there's a yellow shirt. I recognize that person. But yeah.
So what was your finisher as a wrestler?
Dragon Sleeper.
The sleeper, okay.
Dragon Sleeper. Ultimo Dragon Sleeper.
Okay. Yeah, got cut. Wow.
Nice. What was the inspiration for that?
The Dragon Sleeper?
Yeah.
Watching Ultimo Dragon. Dragos. That was like 98 maybe.
Love it. Love it. He does not get enough credit.
You know, it's
No,
funny.
One that does
definitely
not get talked
not.
about enough too.
Aaron-
Love me some
Aaron and
Ultimo
I-
Dragon.
Aaron and I were guests on someone else's show, the Joe Monroe Show,
Okay.
and he had a roundtable discussion, and it was, what was better, the WCW Cruiserweight division or TNA X division?
WCW Cruiserweight Division.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mile.
That was
There's
Aaron
no
and I were on a
comparison.
team. Aaron and I were on a team
Apples and oranges.
with a man named Rob Kemmerer from the Confusion Wrestling Podcast. It was the three of us arguing that the Cruiserweight division was better. And all
Yes.
we really had to say was Rey Mysterio,
That was my
Ultimo Dragon,
Yep.
and
Chris Jericho.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's all you had to say.
Eddie
And-
Guerrero. I mean,
Yeah.
you could just go on and name all these stars.
yeah,
Yeah.
it,
And I even brought up the point of if there was no cruiserweight division, would there even be an X division? And they were like, no, but it's still better. What? I don't understand.
I mean,
it was-
look how bad WWE failed when they tried their light heavyweight division. Sure, Taka Michinoku was fucking incredible, but they never gave him anyone.
yeah.
that's
100%.
true. We are big. I actually met Taka Michinoku one time when we were what?
Really?
13?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, and I sat down next to him. We were at an event. So Gary Albright, I don't know if you're familiar with the name Gary Albright. It was a memorial show for him. He had passed away. He's part of the Anawai family tree.
Okay.
And the Samoans. It's huge here where we're from.
They're all from Allentown.
They're all from
like
our
Alpha,
area.
The Wild Samoans, they're from here.
I know.
They're training schools in where we grew
Yeah.
up. It's wild.
So,
dude. Wild.
I sit down next to Taka Michinoku at 13 years old, and I said, "Hey, what does Kai and Tai mean?" And he just looks at me and he laughs and he goes, nothing. Means nothing.
You made it up.
Just made it up. It's just words. And
Oh,
it just
really?
cracked me up. Yeah. With
Huh.
Michinoku, we love some Taka. We actually did a match, Taka versus Triple H, a watch along.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we're gonna go to a couple fun ones after. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Taka Michinoku, I mean, he is definitely one of my favorite in that like weight class, but like I said, he didn't have the talent to work with the WCW cruiserweights did.
So I want to equate him to when Sting became champ. Sting won the title, and I think it was like 91 or I don't remember what year it was.
When he beat
Early in his
the
career,
first time.
Yeah. But they had nobody lined up for him. He had the Black Scorpion, which is just fucking flaring a mask. Like, it's the same concept. You can't push a guy and make a guy a champ when you have nobody to feed him. That's what made Hogan Hogan.
I like
You fed him under, or you fed him Andre. You fed him
Andre, Earthquake.
The Boss Man, everybody go on down the line. That's what made Hogan. As much as Hogan was a big star, the heels that he went against are what made him. That's why Taka didn't get over.
Well, I
you
like
would have gave him a million cruiserweights to go against.
Could you imagine in WCW in that cruiserweight division if Taka Michinoku would have had the spot that Prince Iakea had?
Sure.
How much better it would.
It wasn't bad. Would be fucking right there with like Jericho, Mysterio, and everyone else. No,
absolutely,
100%.
Brad, you're not a dummy. You got
no, definitely not.
I usually like to call people dummies, and I'm glad that I didn't have to call you one.
I'm 50 years old. I've seen a lot of wrestling in my day.
So I want to get back to some indie stuff. Let's shout out some people.
Hold on a second. I got this window open and there's a motorcycle going by. What was that now?
I want to bring it back to the indie wrestling. Let's shout out some people in your area. Some of the best wrestlers you've seen in your area, people to look up to, people to look forward to. Let's hear some names.
Okay, in my direct area, like Grand Rapids, there's like the Midwest Misfits. They're just phenomenal. Their tag team, it's wow, I'm blanking on their names right now. Ominous Ramirez and Tristan Navarro. Sorry, guys. But no, in Grand Rapids, there's not a whole lot going on. It's kind of sad, but later on this month, we got a show. It's just outside Grand Rapids where, the Atlas brothers will be there. There's Scott, Sam, and two other guys who I can't remember. I think Preston Riker, who just beat Conga Kong at the previous show. So that's saying something about this guy.
Yeah.
I don't recall who. Oh, he's wrestling Anderson Knight, I believe, which should be a pretty spectacular show if anyone's familiar with these guys. I mean, other people might be like, who are these guys? And I'm like, just look them up. Then
that's the purpose of us asking this question, so we can look them up.
And then there's going to be a 6-man tag team match. It's Sean Tyler, who I interviewed last month, TJK, and I believe Sean Stockmeyer against the Atlas brothers, which should be pretty awesome. I mean, all four of the Atlas brothers, they are maybe less than 2 years in, but they're making a name for themselves. They're known throughout Michigan. And then I imagine the show coming up also will have Chico Amante, who's just been, he really gets the whole getting your name out there. He's made a pretty good living in just getting bookings from his postings. And that's what you got to do nowadays. You might not be the best wrestler, but if people are aware of you, you can get people to want to see you. You can get by.
Yeah.
I mean, two of the names that you just said, I actually am friends with on Facebook, and I see their stuff frequently. Is Chico Amante and Sean Stockmeyer.
Shout them out.
Both of those guys, I see their stuff frequently. I'm liking, I comment. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those weird guys on social media. I have friends all over social media that I've never actually met.
That's what it's all about.
And I'm always commenting and like
that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys I'm so supportive of if you have a dream, I want you to follow it. I want you to go
See,
for it.
I can
I
say
feel
another
like
thing about Sean Stockmeyer. He's been in this 15 plus years, and he is one of the most genuine people you can meet. He doesn't care about win or losses. He just cares about the performance. He will sit there and help someone else elevate their game. And this is stuff he learned from Michael Elgin. So tie that back to there. Because, I mean, Sean Stockmeyer is a big fan of Michael Elgin. I was like, when I was telling him, yeah, I'm going to interview, or well, my wife at the time was going to interview Michael Elgin. He's like, oh, that's one of the guys I see in the locker room. I'll grab my chair and I'll like scoot closer and closer to him, try to pick his brain because he's just so fucking phenomenal. I'm like, I mean, this testimony here, I should have went to you before I even tried like researching any of these allegations because Sean Stockmeyer is someone who will tell you exactly what you should, if you should or shouldn't like someone. And the way he talked about Michael Elgin, I'm like, I wish I'd talked to you first because I would have no doubt at that point.
Yeah. I mean, so you bring up Michael Elgin. We're all also fans of his work.
Yeah.
We love what he did in the ring. It's unfortunate with the allegations that it seems like he's been blacklisted.
Well, it's not so much the allegations nowadays, but his injury he suffered at a shoot job.
Okay, that's fair. You bring him up, so I'm going to say you started Michael Elgin Saves Wrestling, and it seems like that is on hold currently.
Yes.
Is there anything that you would like to tell us about maybe why that's on hold or when you think that may pick up again and become a thing?
Why it's on hold is because when we started going at it, I was trying to get something to ignore the whole marriage falling apart. I wanted something to be like, yeah, this is going to be my definitive stamp on everything. And he was all for it too. And then, his life, I don't know too much detail, but went one direction and just kind of, it's like, okay, maybe we should just back up here. And because I definitely was not in the best head space for that. And anyone who follows me realizes there was a tremendous drop off from me and my association with independent wrestling, and it's because of all these other things that were going on outside of it. But since then, I was kind of in therapy when this all started. So when my wife presented me with divorce papers, I'm like, this sucks, but I can get through it. And as long as I sit back and game plan, take a little break, I know I can still continue to do what I do and bring products that people appreciate.
Absolutely. And I want to say that I was very happy when we reconnected because we were originally going to do an interview with you and Elgin together.
Yep.
And then, obviously what had happened.
He happened, something in his life happened that day. And I was like, well, shit, what do I do? Because actually tonight is the first night I've been interviewed on a podcast by myself. There wasn't someone else I could bounce off from. And it's like that night I'm like, yeah, I really wasn't prepared to do anything alone and then be like, I don't know what's going on because I haven't got any quick answers yet. And
also, it was so new at that time too. There wasn't very many answers to have.
Exactly.
And I feel
like literally that day something happened.
Yeah, and that day it would have been mostly directed. Most of our questions would have been directed toward him because of his experience. So, I'm glad that like I said, I'm glad that we reconnected because like you had said, you kind of stepped away from the social media stuff for a little while, and it was good to hear from you and see that you're doing a new venture and moving forward with some things. And we, obviously want to wish you all the success in the world.
I appreciate that.
No problem. But now it's time for me to start asking some of these fun hypothetical questions that I like to do.
Let's get it.
So
Let's
the
do it.
first one, every interview we have, I ask this question, and it is, if you could choose your fantasy booking, one deceased wrestler versus one current active wrestler in a fantasy match, what would that match be in your eyes?
Deceased, huh? I'd go with Bruno Sammartino versus Hammerstone.
Wow.
Whoa!
Oh, shit.
Talk about power.
Fantastic answer.
Yes.
Fantastic answer. I got Bruno Sammartino. Where is? I got trunk signed by him somewhere hanging around here. Big fan.
Yeah.
Love me some Bruno. Love me some Bruno.
I mean, Bruno, he was so fucking huge in the 60s and 70s that a lot of people don't realize he was Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan was.
Sure.
He might not have
For
the
sure.
charisma Hulk Hogan had, but he drew like Hulk Hogan did.
He had the belt for like 8 years, I think.
12.
Like an 8 year.
Long
12, there you go.
time.
12. Yeah,
And
12-year run.
the timing was
He had, I
Bruno
think his
too.
first run was like 12 years. The second run was like 8 years. And the only reason
Yeah,
he gave up
yeah.
the belt is because he broke his fucking neck.
Yeah.
Bruno was one of those guys that you could relate to him. The common man.
Sure.
It's kind of
Pittsburgh, baby.
you kind of got to put him in the same realm
God,
as
it's
like
so cool.
Dusty, because those are two guys that were
Yeah.
larger than life, but you could relate to them as a person.
Oh,
Well, I got
Bruno
this
just seemed
buddy
like a
who's just
blue-collar,
a few years
hardworking
younger
guy.
than me who lives in the Pittsburgh area. Bruno Sammartino is absolute god to him.
Yeah.
He
I
didn't
would
even
imagine.
watch Bruno growing up, but he's an absolute god.
He still is out there. My
Yeah, I make him
my
so.
wife's family's from there, and they live in outside of Clarion, which is about an hour and a half or so outside of Pittsburgh. And same thing. He's up there with Roberto Clemente out there in Pittsburgh. It's
Wow.
insane. It's crazy. And that's, by the way, that's one of the best answers. We had
That
one.
is.
We had one recently too, but
Recently,
with Hammerstone too. By the way,
we did
fantastic
Hammerstone was a
matchup.
great matchup.
Dude.
Dude, I got to meet him, and he was another guy. I'm like standing next to him, like, this is a large motherfucker.
And he just gets bigger. He just
Yeah.
progressively gets bigger.
The guy, he gets wider.
I know.
It's
He's
not
so
height. He just
fucking
gets
big, but he moves so great.
yes. It's incredible. There's a handful of guys that can do that. Brian Cage is one of them.
Yeah, I
Hammerstone
had
is
another
one
guy.
of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brian, those two guys, they're just massive people that can move like the
they
smaller
should be
guys.
able to move like that.
No, they shouldn't. It
Yeah.
defies physics.
We brought up indie wrestling earlier, and I said how the best indie match I might have ever seen was an indie match, and it was with Brian Cage in a tag team
Yep.
match.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yep.
It was fucking-
ECW arena.
Yeah, it was bananas. We were at the
Yeah.
ECW arena for an indie
So-
show, and it was Brian
Yeah.
Cage in a
Yeah, that
tag
was
match.
fucking
It was
So the
out of
best
control.
the best wrestling match I've ever seen in person was at that ECW arena.
Yeah.
And it was Drake Younger versus Colby Carino.
Yeah, it was
And
good.
I'm going to tell you
Okay.
right now, it was the Street Fight Championship for Battleground Championship
yeah,
Wrestling,
BCW.
and just fucking phenomenal, start to finish.
So we brought up cool venues. What's the coolest wrestling venue you've ever been to?
Me, Super Shogun Wrestling is my favorite wrestling. They have their own venue, and to go there is fucking amazing. Because you get in there and it's like, oh, there's a storefront up front, but here it is. I'm right here, and it's just incredible because there's no tear down, there's no setup, which I appreciate talent wise. I mean, there's some guys that have to set up chairs and what have you, but that's it. There's no setting up the ring because they leave it up all year round.
They constantly train on it, do shows, and just use it day in and day
Yep,
out.
they train, and then they do a regular show, and every other month they do a dark match where they bring in talent they might not be so familiar with and set it up with someone who's trained with them. And I mean, Super Shogun Wrestling is the best promotion I've experienced, period.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because I'm buddies with the owners, Jeff and Ben, or not Jeff, Jared and Ben. It's just the way they do things. I would emulate if I was to run a wrestling promotion.
Sure. Now we've gone. You've been to WrestleManias, right? You were at the one in New York.
New York, yep.
Okay.
Kofi Mania,
So we've been to.
and then WrestleMania 40. Yep.
There you go. All right. Have you ever been to anything like that, or do you have any like goals or ambitions to be like, I want to go to this, I want to go to this show? Like if they bring a show to Michigan or Detroit, is that something you'd be like, I got to go see that?
Not really. I mean, because like I said, I'm pretty much into indie stuff. So I'd like to see a JCW show one modern day. I seen them way back when they first started, and it was something. It wasn't that spectacular, but how they're running shows now is exponentially better. So yeah, they got like 3 shows coming up that are free. It's I think it's like Detroit, Saginaw, and Lansing. It's like it's not really realistic for me to get to those shows on a day, but I want to see a JCW show live.
Okay.
So there are several people on the JCW roster. 2 of them are local to us. Danny Moe.
Oh, really?
You know, she's from our area. She's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And Facade, who is their TV champion right now, I want to say it is.
U.S. champion.
Yeah. Okay. He's
Or
phenomenal.
American
He's actually
champion,
from our
something
area.
like that.
Yeah, he's also from our area. And then somebody who's not completely local to us, but not far away, Shane Mercer, is with JCW right now.
He's
And
in Ohio. Or from Ohio. Sorry.
He's so good.
He's so good.
God, he is so good.
I would love to go to a JCW show. I think it'd be phenomenal fun. And the Juggalos love us for some reason. Just so you know, most of our followers are Juggalos. They love us for some reason. And we love you back.
You know what? With Juggalos being from Michigan, if you present something they can respect, they'll support you.
See? GCW.
You don't have to be exactly a Juggalo, but they're going to recognize real.
GCW.
Real recognize real.
Yeah, there you go. We're all homies.
Has GCW run your way yet?
Not in Grand Rapids, but they do that JCW, GCW in Detroit.
Oh, that's where they do that. That's cool. Yeah, see, that'd be worth
that's like
too.
3 hours away from me, and until I find someone who can travel with me again, a lot of these promotions are not getting neglected, but I'm not making it to them.
So not too far away from you, Central Empire Wrestling. They're Iowa area. It's not too far. Have you seen any of their
that's
stuff?
quite a distance from here. I'd have to drive through Indiana, Illinois to get to Ohio.
Yeah, well, no, they're in Iowa, I believe. Central Empire. They do a lot of stuff in all of those states. But what we've seen out of them, that's another independent organization, and what we've seen out of them, I've seen nothing but good stuff out of Central Empire. I'm a fan. I think that they're doing stuff very well out there. So if you get a chance to check them out, please do that. It's definitely worth the look. Francisco had to step away for a second, but his thing, he's our tag team wrestling guy. He likes tag team wrestling more than we do, but we do like it. So I'm going to go ahead and ask for him while he stepped away. What is your favorite tag team in the history of wrestling? British Bulldogs?
Yeah.
Is it because Dynamite?
What's that?
Is it because Dynamite?
Well, they were, fairly large people, but they were undersized me. I'm 5'9" and 150 right now. So any small people who were getting over, I gravitated to.
5'9", 150.
Yeah.
I remember 5th grade.
This guy's like 6'4" or something.
Yeah,
Crazy
I'm a little big compared
He's
to
a large man.
normal people, but
He's a large man. So before we start to wind this down a little bit, you want to plug your social medias again? Let everybody know where they can find you. Let everybody know what you got coming up. You can plug the push again. Floor is yours, my friend.
Well, okay. YouTube, it's Stage Combat Network. That was my first channel I started. You can find it. It's just literally that. And then I got the second channel, The Push, where I do interviews. There's only one sitting up there right now. And also each of those channels have a Facebook page where I try to do as much as I can given the workday and discipline. I've been trying to push, myself more lately because, I mean, if you're not doing it, who's going to do it for you? Absolutely no one.
Exactly.
And then if you want to see what my personal account's like, it's Brian Hubbart on Facebook, the one from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
The handsome one.
There you go.
That's what I,
The bald
what I
one,
tell him.
exactly.
Not
Not that one from Kansas City or whatever.
out where he's from, because if you look up Aaron DeLong, there's like a really bad magician from Texas. He's horrible. I even told him.
It's like, why are you using my
I said
name?
you bring shame to our name, and he never responded.
So this actually works out. With our last interview, it was Mia Friday. Young lady wrestles independently out of Houston. We asked her to ask a question for our next interview. And since you have been in ring as an in-ring talent in your life, her question is, what is the worst bump that you've ever taken?
And you might have already answered this.
Yeah, I remember this as if it was yesterday. We're at the Greenville Armory, and it was a battle royal. This was the second time I competed that night. And I was running a program with this other guy, Mad Dog. I'm like, okay, when you go to eliminate me, just press me up above your head and drop me out on these guys are waiting there. He lifted me up for the spot, and he started walking towards the rope, and there's only one guy there. He looks up at me. I'm like, drop me. He's like, okay. And I hit the floor so fucking hard. I'm like, oh, I'll feel that tomorrow. That was, yeah. Yeah, it was like a gymnasium floor I fucking dropped on. So that was the worst ever. And that beats why I got chokeslammed by Dread.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say that. So yeah, that sounds actually significant.
Yeah,
It was that bump on the wood floor. That was the worst. I felt that. I mean, I was probably like 24 at the time, but I felt that a week later. As I'm dropping, I'm like, I don't want to bump forwards like I usually do. What the hell do I do? And you only have like a couple of seconds, but when you're thinking about it, it seems like forever. And it's like, I guess I'll just put my hands out and see what happens here.
Ooh, that's brutal, bro.
All right, so
Yeah, I
with
got
that
back
being
to the
said,
locker room. I'm like, where the fuck were all you motherfuckers? So I'm like, first off, I'm going to kick your ass, and then I'm going to kick your ass, and I'm going to kick your ass. And then people are like, oh, slow down. I'm like, no, you go bump on that goddamn fucking floor from 15 feet and see
That's what
how
they did.
heated you are.
As soon as they heard they needed to catch you, they were like, let's all stand over here and watch this motherfucker hit the ground.
yeah,
No,
and they would have
they
felt
were-
up, dude.
no,
They would've
what
felt that-
happened is when they all eliminated, they went to the back to the dressing
Yeah,
room,
see,
and
they-
there's only one guy standing there like, oh my god, I gotta catch him. I'm like, oh shit.
Did he at least try? Did he at least try to
He
catch
tried,
you?
but
Well,
he was
then
smaller
kudos
than
to
I
that
was,
man.
and I'm like, oh.
Kudos to that man. Let's give him some credit.
Yeah, that's a brother right there.
So
Yeah,
with all that
exactly.
being said, do you have a
Those
question
three
that you would like?
dipshits were like, oh, we're eliminated, let's go. I always picture them walking back to the locker room. Weren't there something we were supposed to do? I don't think so. Oh yeah, sounds good enough. Yeah, I was so heated as soon as I went through that curtain.
So do you have a question that you would like to ask for our next interview? Like we always say, we have no clue. We may not even know who our next interview is.
Exactly, yeah, I know. And then
We got all this
Let me
stuff
think
in the
about-
works.
I'd be like, what was the worst reaction you ever got at a show?
Ooh, that's a good answer.
I like
a
that.
good question. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Because when you come through that curtain and there's no reaction, that hits differently than when people are either booing or cheering for you. I mean, when there's no reaction, it's like, what do I do now? What am I? Oh yeah, I'm a heel. I gotta maybe I'll flip someone off. Go to that chestnut.
That's a good question.
It definitely.
I
is a good
mean, to me, that would be the hardest thing to recoup or recover from, regardless what I was working.
The silence. Cricket.
Yeah, crickets is
Tumbleweed.
definitely not good. So I mean, you got anything else in your head?
All
right, so I think
we are good.
Ladies and gentlemen, anybody who's watching us right now, anybody who's watching in the future, please go and follow The Push on Facebook, on YouTube. Go onto YouTube and subscribe to the Stage Combat Network. Look forward to in the future here. I know there's some more things in the work. Michael Elgin Saves Wrestling.
Unbreakable Michael Elgin.
All of these things are attached to our friend here, Brian Hubbart, and we fully support him. So, guys, go out there, like, subscribe, share, comment, do everything you can do to help out a brother.
A brother from another mother. Brian, thanks for being on.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Brian, for coming. We really appreciate it. We had a great conversation, a fun one, and I like that we got to get you a little bit out of your shell. Because you're a pretty reserved guy. You're a pretty reserved guy.
I really appreciate what you guys do, and
thank you.
Thanks.
I mean, that's what we're here for. And once again, go out and watch this independent wrestling. Everybody out here, wherever you are, there's independent shows. Go out, support these people, because you never know who could be the next big thing. Ladies and gentlemen, Brothers of Discussion podcast, like, share, subscribe, all that shit. All those good things. Once again, thank you very much, Brian Hubbard, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
The Push. Go follow The Push and Stage Combat Network. Do it now. And then send him some money. Send him stars, because he's got alimony.
No, I don't.
No, okay. No,
good for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.
Put any stars anyways.